Welcome to our daily reflection for this Thursday, October 10th. And today, Jesus taught us how to pray and, the words to use and who to address yesterday. And today, he's going to speak about the motivation. How do we continue with perseverance in prayer? Because prayer can be dry, it can be difficult, it can be arduous. So how do we continue to be successful in prayer? And of course, the secret's going to be perseverance. And Jesus is going to show us in the gospel today the 3 stages of perseverance in prayer. And so let's look at that. So if we turn to the gospel, Jesus says, look, he gives an example of, if you have a visitor and you need bread and you go to your neighbor and you say, hey, I've had this visitor, I need some bread. And they can say, oh, it's late at night, I'm in bed, come back tomorrow, leave me alone tonight. But if you keep persevering and you keep knocking and you keep asking, he'll not maybe out of friendship, but simply to get rid of you and to stop this annoying interruption, he will answer your prayer and give you what you want. And so then Jesus gives a saying that I think is really powerful. This is one that St. Augustine loved. He quotes this quite a bit in the Confessions and in many of his writings. Jesus says, as the kind of the summary of that parable, I tell you, ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it will be opened unto you. Now notice this idea of ask. All right, that's what we do. We come with petitions to prayer. We ask God, help me. Give me the strength to get through this. Help this person with this healing. We ask, but that's not enough. We have to seek. So it's one thing to ask God in petitionary prayer, but do we take it to the next level? The next gear, Jesus says, is to seek. And this is an important term used throughout the scriptures of Israel, to seek God, to go to the temple, to seek his presence, right? And so are we seeking God? Are we going out of our way to find and discover and encounter God? That's a great question, right? And so now we're seeking. This is what pilgrimage is. It's about seeking God in a particular and special way. And it's not just asking in our petitionary prayer, but seeking God out. And then there's the 3rd stage of knocking, right? And then the door will be open to us. And so sometimes there's a door. We don't see God. He's not answering our prayers. And so we have to knock loudly, right? And so sometimes, we have to do that. And so I love this. And then Jesus takes it a 3rd step, all right? He gave us the parable. He gives us the teaching and the saying with asking, seeking, and knocking. And now he gives us another motivation for persevering in prayer. And that is revealing, just like he did in the Our Father yesterday, revealing the heart of God, that you have to see God as a loving Father. And that will give you the hope that our prayer of petition, our asking, our seeking, our knocking will ultimately be answered because God has the heart of a father and he sees you as his beloved child. That is a great consolation and something we cannot forget in prayer. Because I think the devil wants us to discourage us with prayer by saying, you're not worthy, you're a sinner. Why would God ever want to answer your prayer? Why would God care about you? He's forgotten you. You don't deserve God's grace. But here's the beautiful thing. We don't deserve God's grace. And so in a sense, it doesn't matter what the devil's argument is, because the devil's argument that we don't deserve God's grace and God's love is precisely the point. It's grace, which means gift. And so throw out the devil's argument. Don't reason, don't go down that level of logic. God says, what father among you, when his child asks for an egg, will give him a scorpion? Would ask for a fish, will give him a rock or something bad, right? How much more then? If you know how to give good gifts to your children, right? How much more will your Father in heaven give you the Holy Spirit if you ask him for it, right? To those who ask. How much more will the Father in heaven give the Holy Spirit to those who ask? God may not give us a Mercedes, the lottery, wealth, fame, good health even. But the one thing he will give if we ask is even better than all those things. He'll give us his own Spirit. He'll give us the Holy Spirit. He'll give us the grace to love him and to love others. And so let's ask for that Holy Spirit today. Sometimes we ask for the wrong things or small things, Let's go big, Jesus is saying. Ask for his Holy Spirit. Ask for his love in your heart, and then you will love like the saints love. You will love like Christ loves. And that is the most powerful and transforming thing in the world. Nothing will give you greater happiness than to have God's love in you, loving others. May the Lord bless and keep you. Thanks to God's providence, I'm speaking to you from the Augustine Institute's new campus in St. Louis, Missouri. We have this wonderful 286-acre state-of-the-art campus, which is going to allow us to transform our mission from simply having digital platforms to now having a physical platform that complements those digital platforms. It allows us to provide in-person education and training in the faith. We think this is going to be transformative, increasing our student enrollment, providing and allowing us to have conferences and retreats for the church and for the Catholic laity and religious across North America. Help the Augustine Institute serve Christ and the church with this new campus. A gift of $100 or more will allow you to receive a gift in preparation for Advent called Waiting for Christ by St. John Henry Newman. We'll send that to you before Advent, and you can go to augustineinstitute.org/give and make a donation today.